Former Danity Kane and Diddy Dirty Money star Dawn Richard is responding to accusations that her ex-boyfriend and Day 26 star Q, claiming that she gave him a pill that she said that Diddy told her to give to him, which subsequently made him fall asleep and wake up to others taking video footage of him. He believes that Diddy was trying to sacrifice him.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. It might be Memorial Day, but the Diddy news does not stop. Yes, today was a day off for the Diddy trial, and we'll get back to updating you daily with a summary of what's happening during this Diddy trial. If you missed any of our previous updates, be sure to check out our YouTube page and the Kempire podcast. Over the weekend, I mentioned, I think in the last video that I did, that Q did this interview with Aubrey O'Day on TJ Holmes and Amy Robach's podcast. Yes, you know, the former journalists that were disgraced because they had an affair on their... Yes, okay. I just wanted to give you a quick update on who those people were. But they did an interview with Q from Day 26, and he revealed some interesting but shocking information. A lot of people are saying they're not surprised. They believe Q, and they believe that Q has never been the same since this particular incident that he detailed in this new interview on this podcast. So let's take a listen to that before we get into what Dawn Richard is saying.
I was around Dirty Money for about a year while they were creating Last Train to Paris. And I guess I was around because I was dating Dawn. I just happened to be around. So Diddy's like, I think he was very, very high. He's like, we're going to go to the Hamptons. He was like, we're going to go stay the night there and you guys want to come. And it felt very weird because he's never, this energy just felt so weird. You know what I mean? It was friendly high. You know what I'm saying? Like a friendly invitation to something.
And it should be noted, based off of this trial, what we've discovered is that Diddy loved ecstasy pills. And if you know anything about that, you don't necessarily have to do it to know. It makes you very happy and touchy and things like that.
Usually like that?
No, he's never invited all of us to one of his houses. Oh. So we get to before we get to the Hamptons, they're like speeding in these black SUVs on the expressway, very, very fast. Like they were in a rush to get to the Hamptons. We get to the Hamptons and we walk through the house and we arrive in the backyard near the pool. And I was with Dirty Money. At this time, I was around Dirty Money for a pool. And my ex at the time, which was Dawn, she gave me an ecstasy pill. And she said...
Is that what she said it was?
Yeah, she said it was ecstasy. And she said it was from Puff to give to me. And it was red. And I took it because I thought I was going to get freaky with my girlfriend. You know, we tried ecstasy before. And I trusted her that that's what it was. So I took it immediately and she had one too. He gave her 2 of them. I took mine. Within like 20 minutes, I knocked out and blacked out. Yeah. I woke up in the twins' bedroom in the basement, and I woke up out of my sleep screaming very, very loud.
Who are the twins?
I don't know their names.
Are you talking about Diddy's daughters?
Diddy's twins.
Okay.
Yeah. Diddy's twins.
That's
his
Aubrey
girls.
O'Day.
Yeah, I woke up in there.
For those that are wondering, that's Aubrey O'Day speaking, because this is a special podcast where she's covering the trial.
To cameras filming me. And they were laughing as I was in the pool and my sleep, screaming. And it felt like... I'm not going to cry.
It's okay.
Yeah, take your time. It's okay. It's understandable that you're reliving this and emotion comes with it. There's just no way around it. So it
felt very sacrificial. That's what I meant when I said I felt like they were trying to hurt me or Diddy was trying to maybe sacrifice me that night. I didn't say when I went on Vlad TV, I didn't say anything about finding a sacrificial email.
Hold on. What he's discussing in regards to Vlad TV is that's one of the interviews that the boys did. he had to leave gaps within that interview, and they decided to fill those gaps. It's kind of what I've
Yeah.
experienced this past week. As you guys know, we started this out, and it was
Okay, so Q posted on social media a caption saying this: I take full accountability for what I allowed in my life because in the end I had a choice. But let me be candid, I genuinely believed I was taking something I've tried before, meaning the pill. He says it wasn't ecstasy. It turned out to be a horse tranquilizer given to me by my ex-girlfriend who claimed it was from her boss to give me. Roughly 20 minutes after swallowing the red pill, my body heated up and I collapsed into unconsciousness. I remember being on the upper level of the mansion near the pool and then nothing. I later woke up in a room downstairs and lying in a bed with no memory of how I got there. I emerged from a deep, paralyzing sleep, screaming and sobbing, my body in shock, my mind spinning in confusion. The horror of realizing I've been drugged with something far more potent than I was led to believe shattered me. He says there were 2 red pills. She never took hers. That part always haunted me. It felt like a shared experience and more like an experiment. Like I was a lab mouse in some twisted trial to see how fast I'd collapse. Part of me wanted to know when he talked about this in the podcast, who was filming him at the time? Who was there and who was laughing? And he says none of it was funny. It was terrifying. My trust had been manipulated and my vulnerability exploited. After I came to, I began experiencing disturbing psychological symptoms, auditory hallucinations, racing thoughts, intense paranoia, and crushing anxiety. You remember the last season of Day 26's Making of the Band? And they were trying to make it appear that Q was problematic, Q was losing his mind. I've interviewed Q before, and Q was just not there was something going on with Q when I interviewed him, and I was just sort of like, that was weird. He says that my thoughts weren't clear, my memory started slipping. It felt like my mind had regressed. I was forced to relearn basic things with the support of doctors and loved ones. The pill had broken me mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Whatever ritual, spell, or manipulation that pill carried, it hijacked my autonomy. I began isolating myself. Sleep became my only escape from the pressure in my skull. I truly believed it was orchestrated by her boss, a display of power meant to destabilize a weak mind and instill fear. To anyone quick to judge or dismiss my trauma, please remember you weren't there. Mental health is a silent war, one I've fought in the shadows for too long. When you love someone, you're willing to go to unimaginable lengths for them. Trust becomes your compass. This journey I'm on is about reclaiming my power, choosing truth, and healing out loud. If you listen to the full interview, which I did over the weekend, that Q did with Amy Robach and TJ Holmes and Aubrey, his mother was also there, and she also talked about that journey and the changes that she saw in Q at the time. Well, Dawn Richard, who you know is suing Sean Diddy Combs for money that's owed to her, accusing him of harming her, harming Cassie in front of her. As you also know, she testified for the prosecution in Diddy's trial, documenting Cassie's abuse. I want to read what Dawn had to say. So Dawn posted on social because this is pretty damning. I have to say, when I first heard about this, I was like, oh, that does not look good for Dawn. So Dawn responds in a written statement saying, I want to be unequivocally clear. I have never drugged anyone, nor have I ever given anyone pills to take. The suggestion that I did so is categorically false. If such a belief were genuine, it would be inconsistent with the actions that followed, such as inviting me into your home, introducing me to your younger sisters and family, and continuing a relationship with me. It would also be inconsistent with choosing to attend social events without me, engaging with individuals I had previously expressed concerns about, and continue to live with or provide favors to those same individuals. Many of these actions occurred while I was not present or even in contact with you. Sidebar though, this is the way that she's trying to paint him is exactly how the defense tried to paint her on the stand. Why exactly did you reach out to Diddy back in 2020 and 2021 to continue to work with him, even though in your civil lawsuit, which is for money, you are making him out to be the devil? You saw what he did. You said you were scared of him. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying either or there. I'm trying to paint the picture for you of what the defense had to say about Dawn Richard and now what she's saying about Q. She continues in her statement. Throughout our time together and even after our separation, I made a conscious decision not to share or disclose private matters or the circumstances surrounding the end of our relationship to protect you. She put the you in capital. I did this out of respect for you and your family. Hmm. Can I be honest? When they had their relationship, I felt like it was an industry relationship. I didn't feel like it was like a real relationship. I'm just reminding myself of what I observed during that time as an outsider. She continues in her statement. Dawn says, at this moment, I believe it's essential to recognize that many people are dealing with pain and hardship. This situation is not about one person. It reflects broader harm that has affected many. I sincerely hope that healing and wholeness are possible for all involved. My intention is and always has been to move forward with compassion and integrity, and I pray that others can do the same. Here's the thing. Could Diddy have been the mastermind and created victims and utilized these victims to be his accomplices at particular points? I think both can be true. I do believe that he could have utilized people like Cassie, people like Dawn, other people, assistants, workers. They clearly are going on the stand in this Diddy trial and saying that I did some things because he was a powerful person. I was scared of him. At the time, I was like, well, this is what he's wanting me to do. People are doing things like this. Unfortunately, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. People are doing these things. So I wouldn't be shocked that some of these people couldn't be viewed not just as victims, but also accomplices, doing the bidding of a very powerful and influential man that's gotten away with abuses. I don't think that's an argument. He's admitted this in court. He is an abuser of drugs, of people. Is he going to be convicted on trafficking and racketeering? Well, that's up to the jurors. I don't think there is an argument to say that Diddy has abused people, has victims, and maybe some of those victims were also made into accomplices, probably intentionally. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts and opinions on what Dawn Richard had to say in response to a new interview that Day 26 star Q revealed. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
Here we go now.